once again, reacting to more CinemaSins videos. And here's the thing, to best describe it, because sometimes it's difficult for me to explain some things and to put it at words, bear with me. But I'm sure, you'd understand as I explain this the best I can. This reaction video that you're watching, and you read the title, you know which CinemaSins video I'm reacting to. Originally, it wasn't going to be this one at first, because at first I was planning on me and my dad reacting to another CinemaSins video. Not this one, of course, but it was the CinemaSins video of everything wrong with The Shining. Yeah, because me and my dad, we love The Shining, and, we've done some Shining stuff. Like, we did our review on the film itself, and, and, of course, we have to react to everything wrong with The Shining. But yeah, unfortunately, of course, you know what reaction video you're watching and which CinemaSins video I'm reacting to. Yep, unfortunately, the reaction video of everything wrong with The Shining with me and my dad, couldn't get a chance to do it, but that's not to say we won't do it. It'll happen later on. I'd like for us to do it, as soon as possible, whether if it's this month or next month, and besides, there are plenty of other CinemaSins videos that I want to get me and my dad to react to, like, react to the rest of the CinemaSins videos of the Star Trek films and the Pirates of the Caribbean films. Definitely those. But yeah, so for Plan B, taking its place, me and my dad's reaction to everything wrong with The Shining, taking its place in Plan B is this: everything wrong with Halloween, the original / first Halloween. Yes. Oh boy, like, what are they gonna say on this? I hope as though, because, you know what, you never know, because it would be nice, because, the original Halloween is such a classic Halloweenish film, the pure, true film for Halloween time, without a doubt. And hence, it has the title, Halloween. I hope as though that, they'll remove a couple of sins, because there's just so much to it that's fantastic, no doubt about it. But of course, like, with some stuff they're gonna point at, like, it's understandable. But again, I've said this before, the CinemaSins videos, they're for laughs. That's what they're for, just for laughs. But yeah, so without further ado, let's see what CinemaSins has to say on the original / first Halloween film from 1978. Alright, so here we go. Video starting in 3, 2, 1, play. John Carpenter's Halloween. In 15 minutes or less.
Donald Trump. So Carpenter was already getting his name above the title
before
he even had one hit. This would be the equivalent of M. Night Shyamalan's Sixth Sense. Exactly 22 days before the Kennedy assassination. Coincidence? Jesus, does this house look more inviting to trick-or-treaters? The Myers couldn't even bother to put the jack-o'-lantern on the steps so people could see it better from the street. This family can't do pumpkin placement correctly. We are alone, aren't we?
Michael's around someplace.
Michael's older sister decides, I can have sex with my boyfriend with Michael around. It's not like he'll turn into a psycho killer if he sees this douchebag pounding me. I gotta do it.
Will you call me tomorrow?
So from the time the lights went out in Judith's bedroom to now, it's been 1 minute and 8 seconds. And a good 20 seconds of that is getting clothes off. I know this kid's in high school, but man, that is literally some weeks off and not very long lasting. Also, after the terrible sex performance, Michael's gonna kill his sister. Michael starts stabbing his sister, and then he turns to his right, and what? Is he stabbing the air now? Michael? This is a great reveal, and what a fun, unbroken shot to start off a cheap horror movie. I'm removing 3 sins for this. Also, the
thank you.
But can we y'all just admit an adult in this clown costume would have been equally creepy? Well, Dave, we just found our son standing here with a bloody butcher knife in his hand, but let's just stand and stare.
Don't you think we could...
Even the mother is just like...
The compassion's overwhelming, Doctor.
Really, Marion? Just a minute ago you were complaining about their gibberish. I think the expression is, don't throw stones at crazy people's houses, or something along those lines. Man, it'd be weird if this simple shot of a matchbook inspired a white trash-themed reboot of this series almost 30 years later. Thank God that never happens. I don't care if he's
Rabbit
from
in
Walmart,
red.
This guy doesn't have the strength to open palm shatter a car window like that.
He's gone.
Only Michael, apparently.
Evil is gone.
You see, Dr. Loomis, this is why nobody takes you seriously. You talk about Michael Myers in dramatic horror movie terms. You know the truth, so you've taken a leap nobody else is ready to accept. You need to learn how to relay how evil he is without calling him the evil. Also, how did you know that was Michael? All you saw was one of the many patients driving away in the car, but you never saw his face. Also,
Well, he knew, I
does
mean...
Michael know how to drive a car? He's been in this joint since he was 6. Did they put him in the student driver program?
Don't forget to drop the
Well.
keys at the Myers place.
I won't.
They're coming by to look at the house at 10:30.
This is a throwaway line, but brings up the question of what the happens to the potential home buyers. In just 2 minutes, we will see Michael's already taken up residence. This is never mentioned again. And why wouldn't Mr. Strode be at the house to show it? Haddonfield, Illinois, where the California palms grow like wildflowers. I believe that's the city's motto. So, 15
It was shot in
years ago,
springtime.
Nobody can sell the murder house. Why hasn't this place been condemned? Also, you'd think if you're Strode Realty, you'd get somebody to at least clean up the exterior a bit, and maybe do a little work inside, so you don't have to rely on Tom Hanks and Shelley Long to buy it.
I told them how dangerous he was. You couldn't have 2 roadblocks and an all-points bulletin wouldn't stop a 5-year-old.
But it should have. How does crazy-ass Michael Myers drive his stolen station wagon through 2 roadblocks without anyone seeing it? Does he somehow know secret Mario Kart paths to avoid cops? Because remember, this asshole's been in an institution for 15 years. Has the mind of a child. I don't care how the evil he is.
You can't drive a car. He was doing very well last night. Maybe someone around here gave him lessons.
Listen here, Dr. Loomis. I already seen that. I know this sinning thing is a joke to you, but I take it goddamn seriously, and so do certain Hollywood directors. Man, it'd be weird if Dr. Wynn, who's only in this one scene, would show up in, say, the 6th film in this franchise, and we'd find out he's a member of a weird cult that worships Michael Myers. Thank God that never happens. This is a cool
Yeah.
shot, and I'd remove a sin, except how did Michael know Laurie would be sitting next to a window for him to stalk so perfectly? So why did he walk from Laurie's
Well-
school to this kid's school? Michael's business is killing babysitters. So is this some sort of complex dive into the human soul where he sees a lot of himself in the kid and he feels the need to protect him? Now, I'd like that, but that ain't the truth. The truth is you're the weak and I'm the tyranny of evil men. Wait, sorry guys. Let's go on to the next scene. No one will be seen
Okay.
during the Michael goes back to the car, starts it, and drives alongside Tommy portion of the movie. Also, if this is supposed to be from Michael's perspective, then why are we looking out the back window of the car while he's driving? Michael, like most asshole drivers on the road, doesn't bother to signal when he turns right. Yeah, Haddonfield seems like the type of culturally relevant town in Illinois where a sign telling you it's 73 miles away would be appropriate. Payphone.
He is coming to
Yep.
Haddonfield because I know him.
From what Loomis told us earlier, Michael hasn't spoken a word in 15 years since the murder. So what information did he give Loomis that made him so certain he'd go back there if he escaped? Dr. Loomis conveniently pulling up to the side of the road where the dead motorist, an abandoned truck, and a phone are is convenient. Also, how is this not a crime scene by now? No one saw an abandoned truck on the side of the road with the door wide open and thought to check that out in the last few hours? Loomis knows Michael was here because of the matchbook the nurse used to light her cigarette, but doesn't bother to check for dead bodies. That might have been a good thing to discover and tell the police earlier. He could even tell them that there's a sign pointing the way to Haddonfield from this new murder site. Tickets on sale
Well,
for
would
what?
there be
Just the
any
high
dead
school in
bodies?
general?
Like-
And who would even see the sign? It's practically in a forest.
Hey, jerk! Speed kills!
Michael is literally going drive-by stalking speed, barely faster than you assholes are walking. Also, there is no way that Michael could have heard anything Annie was saying or a moving car at that distance.
I knew you'd bring that up.
No sense of humor.
That is very specific. It's almost like you're saying you like the guy if he didn't own a car, but still had no sense of humor.
I've got 3 choices. Watch the kids sleep, listen to Linda screw around, or talk to you.
I'm starting to think Myers later kills Annie to put her out of her misery.
Oh, look. Look where?
Annie was clearly looking straight ahead when Michael was visible, so how did she not see him? For a movie that is so good at elevating tension and suspense with the use of atmosphere and music, jump scares like this come off even more annoying.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
And a creepy adult who doesn't understand the concept of personal space. Trick-or-treating at 3 in the goddamn afternoon, even if it's like 5 or 6, you are severely limiting your candy haul. If she-
Yeah.
Is this window open?
Trick-or-treating this early?
Cops, right? No? Okay, carry on.
Oh my gosh, an ad. And yeah, okay, since the ad popped up, because yeah, I had a feeling the narrator would point that out because Michael's stopping the car and he apparently heard that. Well, He's Michael Myers, and that's all there is to know, okay? So, something about, like, certain serial killers, like Michael Myers. You get my point, so... Alright, so... An ad for Pet Cemetery. And Pizza Hut. Sometimes, you know, I really feel like these ads are sometimes out of hand, because you just never know.
Rotary phone.
Whoa.
This turns out to be Laurie's friend Annie, who decided to go on her mouth was full of cereal and didn't even bother an attempt to say something.
Judith Myers, row 18, plot 20.
During his important search for Michael Myers, Dr. Loomis decides to check out the local cemetery to see if Michael defiled his sister's grave, which somehow takes precedence over checking his old neighborhood first.
Why do they do it? Goddamn kids.
Steal tombstones? That's a common occurrence in Haddonfield or anywhere.
Mr. Riddle is watching you, Lori. Mr. Riddle is 87.
Can still watch.
It's probably all I can do.
I like to think this film encouraged a giant spike in 87-year-old men joining gyms in 1978.
Stop laughing. What's the matter with you?
Since they're smoking weed and don't want to get caught, why exactly couldn't they just skip talking to the sheriff? He's clearly busy, and he could have just driven right past him, and he probably wouldn't have even noticed.
All they took was some Halloween mask, rope, and a couple of knives.
They stole a Halloween mask at the hardware store. Also, what's the deal with this town? Michael's been able to walk around in daylight all day, drive around in a stolen station wagon that is very easy to identify. He stole a tombstone from a cemetery, committed a hardware store robbery, and between stops he stalked Lori throughout the movie. And nobody's seen this guy except Lori. Also, Michael had the mask on when he was.
And we know what he stole from the hardware store.
When the girls were walking home. So has this alarm been going off all day? One thing this movie does in superb fashion, and it feels like nobody really ever tried this in horror movies afterwards, is using the edges of the frame to show Michael lurking around every corner. This movie constantly asks you to search the frame for him. Hey, where's Waldo for the 70s crowd? Puts the viewer on edge. I guess we'll just
Hey, thank you again.
When they don't notice the same station wagon following them everywhere they go.
And they can't deny attention to detail
Okay, so
in
does not
movies.
know how to time frame correctly. So Michael has presumably been following Lori around all day. Plus, he had to rob the hardware store at some point, steal Judith's tombstone, etc. So let's assume he ate the dog. What, in the morning when Lori was dropping off the key? How the fuck would it still be warm?
Could have seen inside.
Most random thing that breaks a window at this very moment is random. Bullshit.
That's the only thing that startled me in this movie.
I think he'll come back. I'm gonna wait for him.
Seriously, this podunk small town can't spare one cop to help Loomis out. By this point, there should be some sort of news about it. Broke out of Smith's Grove, definitely murdered a guy.
Yeah,
He's clearly back in his old neighborhood. But sure, let's dedicate our entire police force elsewhere. It's Halloween, and somebody stole a mask out of a hardware store after all.
Why do you keep them under there?
Mom doesn't like me to have them.
Great hiding place, dude. Your parents will never find that spot under the couch when they vacuum the living room.
Lindsay, get this dog out of the kitchen right now.
Lindsay.
There's nobody outside.
All day, Lori's been seeing a scary dude staring at her at school from his trademark station wagon, from behind this hedge, and in the middle of this laundry. But as soon as Tommy says he sees somebody, Lori's lady boner over Ben Tramer overrides her concern. And he spills a little bit of water on herself. And that's as good a reason as any to take off both shirts and her pants in the middle of the kitchen with open windows all around.
Never mind. Guess you found a hot day.
That was clearly a whimper and not a sound that would make anyone think a dog was okay. And he might be a bigger dick to dogs than Michael, and he kills them and eats them for fuck's sake. I get the giant
I don't recall
thing, but did we have to
knowing
wait
that he
30
eats
seconds
them.
to open it? I mean, that's a 30 seconds of logo scene in a movie within a movie.
What about the jack-o'-lantern?
Catch the movie.
What about the rest of my comic books?
Catch the jack-o'-lantern.
Jesus, how long is this night? Also, they're making a jack-o'-lantern on Halloween night. What will they do with it afterwards? Put it out on November 1st? Think through your activities, Lori. Come on.
I saw the boogeyman. I saw him outside.
Lori's disbelief
Yeah,
aside,
Michael being
which is
referred to as the
by way,
boogeyman.
This is what Tommy saw. He saw a dark figure standing out on a lawn that literally could be anyone. But because he's a kid that nobody believes, he's absolutely right about this.
Oh, is this one of your cheap tricks?
Did Michael also have ninja training at the institution? Because he moves so stealthily, he doesn't even make a sound.
Lindsay, come out here.
Lindsay.
And why don't we not stand here talking
Yep.
about them and get down to doing it?
Man, Michael Myers hit the jackpot with horny babysitters when he decided to come back to Haddonfield on Halloween night. Which brings up the question, how did he know who all the babysitters were when he came back? How did he choose these victims? He's been
And Lindsay's
all day,
watching
and it's not like he knows
Forbidden
the
Planet.
situation in this town.
I spilled butter all over my clothes there in the wash.
Am I seeing things, or did she simply spill water on her clothes? And it was just a little bit. Like, even if that was butter, it wasn't all over her clothes like she claims.
Oh,
Well, I could see it. Like,
keys.
Sure, you might have thought the door was open, but how are you going to operate the car without your keys? straight to the car without looking for your purse. How damn for Paul do you have to be to forget keys? Wait a minute, did Michael have a copy of the key?
You
Or does
can
he
never
use
forget
murder
your
knife
keys,
to break
people.
into cars? And man, Annie didn't even notice. Paul must be the best. What the hell was Michael doing in this car for the last 30 seconds to fog up the windows like that? Actually, scratch that. Okay, not knowing the answer. There's no blood coming from her throat, so what exactly did he just slice them? Her ear? Also, what's the best way to emote a horrible death? Probably not this. Tommy picks the most insane moment to play a trick on Lindsay, as it's perfect timing to see Michael.
I thought that
and
was
slam his
blood.
body into the house next door.
Tommy, get your ass away from there.
Loomis gets his saved a kid from murder Boy Scout badge today.
And if you are,
That was a funny
damn
moment.
you for letting him go.
What story did Loomis tell the sheriff about Michael's escape? How did that story turn into Loomis being the party responsible for it?
First I ripped your clothes off, then you ripped my clothes off, then we ripped Lindsay's clothes off.
I was told that 10 years later, this guy was fired from the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise.
Lindsay is gone for the night.
Now that's wonderful.
Yeah, but Lindsay's parents have to come home at some point, right? Jesus, this might be the least sexy scene since Disclosure, but also some pretty good representation of high school sex. Also, based on where Linda's leg is and the direction Bob is thrusting, it would appear that Linda's thigh will be reaching orgasm in just a few seconds. So why is that
Seriously?
in this bedroom? They come up here and light up this jack-o'-lantern, or did somebody else do it and it's been sitting here for hours? Based on
Well, none of the lamps are
in this
turned
film,
on.
I think it's safe to say Scream 3 and Halloween take place in the same universe.
Come on now.
Nah.
So Michael watched them have sex, then came down here and hid in the closet just in case Bob checked it. Do I have that right? Because I'm gonna hit up Michael Myers for gambling advice later if that's true. I admit this knife is huge, but how the does it go through Bob's body and into the door behind it, having enough strength to keep him suspended in the air? After the investigation is over, the hardware store Michael stole this knife from should be using this in their advertising. I love this iconic look of Michael cocking his head side to side when he looks at dead Bob. He's either admiring his own work or wrapped up in the beauty of what he did. I'll take a sin-off for it. A sin-off for murder? I mean...
Yeah, there you go.
Never tell me that this guy, while as evil as Dr. Loomis says he is, doesn't have a sense of humor. And since he also has a car, Annie would love this guy if she was still alive. This motherfucker never looked for the car before this. Also, how is it even here? We know that Michael parked the car in front of Tommy Doyle's house, even though we haven't seen it again until now. And the Myers house is not across the street from the Doyle residence. Where exactly did Michael have that tombstone stash this whole time? Also, remember when Michael took Annie's body into the house? He had to have been setting this up then, and he had no idea Linda and Bob would be showing up. But when he saw them later, did he go back upstairs, hide Annie's body, and wait to kill them before setting it all back up? I mean, where was this guy stored so that this could happen? What the f is he hanging from? And why did Michael just leave him stuck on the pantry door? Jesus, what is up with these doors opening on their own? Do the slasher killers only case houses with automatic doors? So,
Blurring the boobs.
get the fuck out of the house, right? This guy's a top-notch fortune teller
Yeah.
slash knife expert on the cutting edge of blade technology. He takes a poor stab at slicing the sharp heroine of the movie. Also, she just broke a leg, arm, both, or is dead, right? No? Okay, carry on. Michael somehow knew to use a fucking rake to prevent Laurie from going out this door. It's like he knew it would come to this. He didn't do this with any of the other victims, but Laurie's the one he figured would be the most likely to escape. Man,
Again, he's Michael
in the
Myers.
Halloween verse of breaking windows with their bare hands. I'd send this for the obvious heroin falls while running cliche, except I'm still flabbergasted that she can move at all after falling down those stairs. What the actual was this guy waiting for the whole time? When did Michael ever have the chance to cut the phone line? He's been at the other house this whole time, and he was just about to catch up to Laurie about 5 seconds ago. So in the time that Laurie walked in here, he cut the phone line and apparently broke this window to get into the house. I mean, this reveal is a lie. This f***er had no chance to do this. And if he did, why did he wait for Laurie to f*** around with the phone and before trying to kill her? Really feel like Laurie not saying "so this" as she stabs him was a missed opportunity. I'm surprised there isn't already a rake propped up against this upstairs bedroom door so that Laurie can't turn the knob. Stab him in the face! Although, you're right, it probably doesn't matter. No one shoots a horror movie like Carpenter. So let's read
Hey.
Stabbed by a coat hanger, stabbed with a knife, shot 4 times, and fell
No one
out of
does.
the house, and he's still alive. This guy did come from 2 human parents, right? Well, maybe not, now that I reflect on it. Since Michael killed Judith at the age of 6 and escaped 15 years later, shouldn't this read Michael, age 21? Movie doesn't know how to math or credits.
Well, at the time, oh, jeez, an ad. At the time, like how these end credits were done, you know. So,
So if anyone in
All
your
right.
family has Medicaid or CHIP,
skip ad. All right, 99 cents.
I blame the chicken.
Egged.
You love movies.
Okay.
You know you do.
All right, a sponsor. And some of these Cinema Sins videos where there would be sponsors before the after credits / the outtakes. Like, do they really? what does CinemaSins call them? Like, that they play at, like, at the end of this, where they show footage of the movie and they insert audio clips. Is there a name to it that they call it? Like, you know, or like, you know, I mean, I've heard other people who have reacted to CinemaSins videos, like, call it outtakes, after credits, you know. But I swear, there has to be a name for it, you know. And if you guys know, you can let me know in the comment section. All right, so let's look at the after credits.
Films ever made, including their spotlight on horror this month. We love it, and we think you will too.
I told everybody. Nobody listened. We didn't listen. We didn't listen.
In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives.
Is that Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Anyone?
Yes, I know.
Great Depression.
He got hungry. Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Tis no man. Tis a remorseless eating machine.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and
Lifeless eyes. Black eyes like a doll's eyes.
Tommy,
Nah,
how's the paper?
there's that again.
Tommy, how's the paper?
You're serious about it, aren't you?
I am serious, and don't call me short.
Come at you like a spider monkey.
Constantine wrote that fate
Oh,
was
I think
somehow related
I've heard that
to
before.
religion, whereas Samuel
Ah,
You locked yourself in.
Oh, and you're a regular Rhodes Scholar. Where was it you graduated
Stewie.
from again? University of Duh.
Oh, I am scared.
I shot him 6 times.
yeah, you technically did. Oh, that was pretty good. That was, and yeah, as I said, funny. That was funny. These CinemaSins videos are for laughs. That's the purpose. But yeah, that was funny. And, you know, the stuff that they pointed out, you know, understandable. But enough said, jump cut to my thoughts now. Hey guys, so that was my reaction to Everything Wrong with Halloween. Yep, again, the original / first Halloween film. Yeah, again, as I said, that was pretty good / funny, and, you know, the CinemaSins videos, always for laughs. And yeah, some of the stuff that they pointed out, like, they talked a lot about with, you know, how did Michael know to do this, that, and so on. And again, as I've been going on saying in this reaction, he's Michael Myers, and that's all we need to know, because, you know, certain serial killers, like Michael Myers, like, they are very smart and know exactly just what to do and how to get their victims and to hold them off. You know what I'm talking about, yeah. And here's the thing, because, fun fact, the first time I got to see / watch the original Halloween was actually, it was actually on, Halloween night, actually. It was actually after trick-or-treating, me and my parents, we went to go see Halloween at one of our local movie theaters where they were screening Halloween. I was dressed up as Jack Skellington on that year and when we got to see it. I think it was 2015 when we saw it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think so. And it was one of my few first rated R movies that I saw, especially on the big screen. And, you know, the funny thing is that, again, that one moment where something hits the window, smashes the window, like, I don't know, is it a telephone pole or something like that? You know, I pointed out because that was the only thing, and when I saw it in theaters, the first time I saw Halloween, as I explained, that was the only thing that startled me. Usually, because you would get startled with these horror movies. Like, it's mostly, like, say, the jump scares. They're just quick at getting on the screen and just getting in your face, you know what I'm saying? So that was the only thing that startled me. And by the way, because the one funny moment where kids are at the house and what's his face, you know, he's like scaring them off, like, get your ass away from the house, you know, like, that was the only, literally, like, I guess, like, the only, like, few swear words that was in Halloween. I mean, I just remember my mom pointing that out to me. There's really not many, like, big swear words in this film. But a lot of times where there's, boobies, also, like, when me and my parents saw Halloween in theaters, a lot of the people that were seeing it with us, there were moments where they laughed at Halloween, especially the one moment where Michael, he gets up and, he's right behind Jamie Lee Curtis's character. You know what I'm talking about. And that was where, the narrator said, no one shoots a horror film like John Carpenter. Yeah, because that shot where he slowly gets up, so when me and my parents saw that in theaters, and when that came up, everybody laughed at that. And I've seen this on YouTube, and if any of you have seen this too, audio of audience's reaction to the movie when it came out in 1978, and you can, and in the audio, what you're hearing in the audio, they're screaming, they're freaking out, and so on. Compared to that, to today's audience watching the movie, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure, like, they also, I mean, that's the only thing I can remember when my experience seeing it on the big screen, but I'm pretty sure, like, when we then see Michael, like, after he was shot and he landed on the ground, and then we see that he disappeared, I'm pretty sure the audience did laugh at that. Again, the audience that was there when me and my parents saw Halloween. So, yeah, and because, like, at one point the narrator pointed out, because a couple of movies that, they were watching on TV, like, again, Lindsay was watching Forbidden Planet, and then Jamie Lee Curtis's character and the boy, like, they at one point watched The Thing, and what a coincidence that a couple of years later, John Carpenter would do his own adaptation of The Thing. Yeah. And, because a lot of great movies that John Carpenter has directed, from this, The Thing, the Escape to films, Escape to New York, Escape to Los Angeles, with Kurt Russell, and the fact that John Carpenter and Kurt Russell worked a couple of times, well, because with the Escape 2 movies, where he plays Snake Plissken, Kurt Russell, The Thing, a year before Halloween, Kurt and John worked together. I'm pretty sure for the first time they worked together on an Elvis biopic film that was on TV, where Kurt Russell played Elvis. And it was thanks to the Elvis film that Kurt and John did, that's what got John to doing the theme music for Halloween. He was chosen to do the theme music for Halloween because of the Elvis film. In what way? Who knows? I don't even know. Maybe some of you know. I don't know. I think if I recall, I mentioned that to my mom, and she was a bit, like, surprised. Like, she found it funny. Yeah, I'd recall, she found it funny. Yeah. It's hard to believe that as of now, one more thing, it's hard to believe that as of now, there have been so many Halloween movies after this. So many sequels. And it's really strange and confusing that there are some that they're not all connected. Some that, it's like different universes that are connected with the original / first Halloween. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's just strange. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It is confusing. Why can't you just have them all be connected? That makes total sense. And that would, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, save... I don't know. I'm sure you know what I mean. But yeah, and not to mention, Rob Zombie did his own version of Halloween. Only 2 movies. Yeah, and as I recall, like, they're not that good, and with Rob Zombie's movies, too much slasher and gore to it, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, at least he had one decent, clean, like, Halloweenish film, which that being The Munsters. And yeah, if anybody remembers that, Rob did his own version of The Munsters. At least, like, it was nice for once that he had a film of his that, all ages can watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's good. But yeah, you know, overall, with the original Halloween, it's the best, and no other, like, sequel, other movie of Halloween could ever top off the original. I wonder if any of the sequels to Halloween were decent, any of them. I don't know, because were there any of the sequels that were okay? I mean, you guys can let me know on that too. But again, obviously they can never top off the original. What John Carpenter brought, how he shot it, you know, back in the late 70s, you know, it's the superior true Halloween film, and the Halloween film you have to watch around Halloween time, without a doubt. And that's the purpose. So yeah, again, overall, the CinemaSins video, Everything Wrong with Halloween, again, good and funny, as these CinemaSins videos always are. They're always funny, and sometimes you would agree, and, like, you would say, yeah, you know, and I almost forgot, because I'm glad, and like I was saying in my intro to the reaction video, that I was hoping that they would remove some sins, you know, of some pretty good stuff in this, and they did. Thank you, CinemaSins. Like, yeah, like, again, a lot of great stuff in this, like, with stuff with Michael Myers and how it's shot. Again, no one can shoot a horror film like John Carpenter, how he does horror films, like you know, what he did for Halloween. So there you go. So what about you guys? What did you think of the video itself? What did you think of my reaction? Leave comments, and give this reaction video a like, as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to Everything Wrong with Halloween from 1978. More reaction videos are on the way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video /reaction. Take care, and peace out.